group of power holders are holding a power meeting in a hotel ski resort off-season and out of the limelight. The sun's shining, but the curtains are closed and electric light prevails. Paradoxically, only the sunlit white slopes they don't see outside the curtained windows would make this a worthwhile location to travel to. Aides and secretaries are scattered around the room, while at the edges stand security guards, silent German or Slovak skinhead statues in suits, ready to intercept, for example, room service. This is a privately owned resort and a publicly non-existent event. Some of the delegates run technology or media empires, some of them countries or states. This group represents slowly unifying global interests as incarnated in a visionary collection of billionaires and statespeople riding the storm-tossed waves of the slowly merging global economy. And these figureheads of democracy despise any interference from the demos when they're doing business. The delegates are not all in place round the circular conference table yet, but some of the committee are already seated. Only a dedication to duty and a primordial fear of losing power keep their focus on the paperwork. Each of them knows exactly what their vested interest is here, staying on top of history while they make history happen. And history can get wild. The chairman enters with aides towards the head of the table, and the remainder of the committee gathers to sit. While the bustle subsides, the chairman looks across at his knights and reflects. I could have been a world-benefiting economist, but I became a selfish financial speculator. Now I'm a politician. My life seems a meditation on the seductive promise of the possibility of control. Nod, smile as his people sit. This is nevertheless a better global order than no order at all. He gently taps his paper square and looks round at the assembled delegates like an emperor overlooking his council, which he almost is. The meeting etiquette is informal, but the dress code isn't. Under their suits, most delegates look worn out by the steady insinuation of a bitter cynicism, which high politic nurtures. The chairman is mostly Aryan, but not European. He has a cappuccino complexion and just a hint of Eastern Asia in his eyes. He's in his mid-50s, and silver flanks the sides of his head. He stands and speaks his introduction with authority. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance. These are crucial times, are they not? Indeed, what times are not crucial for those who patrol the edge of the precipice? As we are all aware, guiding development is delicate surgery. Indeed, developing society is the ultimate balancing act. One must keep all the groups stacked up and spinning in the same direction. Gentle laughter ensues. One delegate pops a pill discreetly behind a handkerchief. Keeping the world moving in the right direction is especially difficult when one's most direct tools are interest rates, taxation and legislation. It often seems to me that our tools are clumsy compared to the sharpness of our needs, but I believe that we're now managing to grasp hold of global political evolution. He adds, for his mind only, albeit that none of us here really have a clue about what the results of our manipulations will be. He's smiling regally, and no one notices the ironic finesse tickle his lips. What is power, except the ability to organize the world to the advantage of the powerful, whatever that may turn out to be? What would be the greatest advantage that humanity could create for itself? For this is what we're creating together here. We should understand it, no? Because this is an enlightened monarchy, a thin, northern European looking, in her 50s, as pallid as porcelain woman says, we must create the greatest good, of course. We must civilize Eden. How close to heaven are we as individuals or as a society? But if heaven on earth is not our ultimate goal, Mr. Chairman, call it an adventure in humanity if you wish, We're trying to outthink chaos in order to survive as a species. And indeed, to maintain control of social evolution does take a great deal of delicately applied power. One of the older members coughs softly, but the chairman avoids looking in his direction as he scans the circle. Yet maybe the central question for us is, how can we apply effective principles of social evolution through economics and politics? A radical change in direction for global methods of production and distribution is imminent, as I'm sure no one here will deny in their hearts. Those of you who do not yet sympathize with this idealism, his brief gaze on 2 or 3 persons is with a paternal, tolerant smile, only betrayed by his hawk-like focus. Please remember that we are all trying to find a way to avoid the desolation of our ultimate interests. The chairman looks round for dissent, and is gratified, but not surprised, to find none. I say this at the opening of this season's business to remind ourselves of the goal of this business, so that we may have our ends in mind as we proceed. With that said, to the first item of business.